hang on. I'm gonna get it going now, just in case you decide to get funny with us a little early, ahead of schedule. Welcome to
Okay.
episode 5. It's 5, right?
Uh. Whoa. There's no way. Hold
I don't
on.
know. Welcome to yet another episode of the Saltine Hour. You haven't killed us yet. We're still here. And as I understand, there are some fucking rants with 307. And I've made a very important point to not learn anything. It wasn't that hard. I've just not been Googling. What?
Well, so actually, one of the things that I said, boy, do we got some shit to talk about. Did you see the little? I don't even know what the fuck this was. It was like a press conference or a media day or some shit where Sketch was in the UFC event, basically.
No, I did see.
Not Sketch.
I've
Not.
seen like a bunch of headlines, and I've made a very concerted point to just ignore them. Like I've been like, I know Christian's gonna tell me what's happening here.
I said Sketch's name. That's the wrong person.
It doesn't
But it
matter.
was it was iShowSpeed and Aiden Ross did some kind of like media thing for UFC, and they were in a UFC ring, and iShowSpeed went up to Dana White and said, "I want Alex Pereira in a striking challenge." Basically, so he's like, "I want to hit the bag right after Alex Pereira hits the bag, and we're gonna see who actually fucking hits harder." The craziest fucking thing seemed to transpire after that. Alex Pereira swings his fucking hand at this 1,000 point max or 999 max
Yeah.
machine, right? So it's gonna the highest number you can get is not 999. Alex Pereira swings. Hold on, I had this picture open just a second ago. All right, so Alex Pereira swings, hits a 907. That's fucking crazy. That is a strong ass hit from a strong ass man. That's the light heavyweight champion of the world, right?
Yeah.
Then I Show Speed takes his fist, punches the same bag on the same machine. Tell me why that bitch said 927.
Versus the 990. You said it was. Hold on. What did Alex?
907 Alex Pereira, the light heavyweight champion of the world. 920. Oh, wait, 921 for I Show Speed.
Who the fuck is iShowSpeed? Okay, so I don't know if we've
He's
talked
the
about
dude who
him
goes.
before. Hold on. Look at this guy. Let me look at this guy. I don't think we've talked about him before. He's a new punching creator. He's 19. Holy shit. Okay, so is it?
Yeah,
So tell me,
he's
is he like a contender in the UFC kind of like creator space? Like, what the fuck is this guy known for?
dude. He's okay. So he's known, and to my knowledge, for being like he's close with all the famous Twitch streamers and shit.
So
And
he's a
so like
goofball.
he's friends with Aiden Ross, he's friends with Kai Cenat. He's that group. He's just the youngest guy of that group.
Okay.
And he's done everything now though. Like if to really think about it, he put out a song and he raced like NFL players in a foot race. He runs a crazy high like 40-yard dash. He's a crazy little kid.
So what
He's just a little kid that he's
d-
he's strangely athletic to be a streamer. Strangely athletic.
that is so weird because it's like my perception. Uh, like talking like a boomer here for a second is like all these online kids and shit. Like they're not going outside, but then you just have like this little group of folks, all around like Aiden Ross on Twitch and shit, and it's like you just have like the next generation of athletes.
Just hidden within him, bro.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I Show Speed. I don't know if he's ever actually played any sport, but I mean, his name is I Show Speed. I assume he already knew he was quick as fuck.
Yeah, he probably like he was impressing bitches with his running speed back in 5th grade. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, that shit's fucking nuts. And now that anyway, I Show Speed also had a wrestling match with Aiden Ross in a UFC octagon with people else in the ring just watching with Dana White there, like, and absolutely mauled Aiden.
What the fuck,
Like,
dude?
it looked crazy. They're just wrestling, and technically in a wrestling match, technically what happened, uh, so they kind of squared off for a second, and then I Show Speed threw a leg kick, which Aiden Ross jumped back and was like, "No, no, 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 just takedowns." So I Show Speed kind
He
of
was like,
looked at
"Calm
him.
down, man. Calm down. Don't hurt me."
when iShowSpeed heard that, he was like, "Huh, okay." Took him down at will, took his back at will, choked him, ate and tap, and then stood him back up.
So he's
This guy's
God.
like
What the
he's
fuck?
he's a comedian. He should not be able to do these things.
Yeah, that's so. What he's weighing it? Okay, so it looks like he's 5'9". I'm not seeing like any official like like numbers on his weight, but I'm guessing 5'9", probably like buck 60, buck 70. That sound about right?
Yeah, he's little. I mean, he's not a big guy,
He's
and
actually a touch shorter than Aiden,
he's
but
just so he's just so quick. He's a different kind of guy, man. He's definitely. I didn't see that coming out of him.
so
I
knowing
didn't see
what,
that coming out of anybody like that, honestly.
well, no, I mean, so knowing what you know about Dana, right, and kind of like the way that he treats the UFC, and kind of putting entertainment front of mind, do you think there's a pretty real chance that now we're gonna see something between Alex Pereira and iShowSpeed, like an actual,
Hell
maybe an
no.
exhibition, maybe a
No. No.
nothing,
No,
nothing.
man. No, no. If this is, I'm just gonna be real quick. If I Show Speed actually tried to fight Alex Pereira, he would get absolutely killed, and I mean it in the sense of he would die.
Hmm.
Like it's not like, oh, he would get embarrassed. Like one punch, I think I Show Speed is like a fucking sad news post the next day, bro. There's no chance anything real comes out of that. It was just, I don't know how he punched technically harder. Those machines, though, I will say this: I've punched one of those machines in real life, and I don't trust their numbers.
Well, no, I mean, there's got to be something to be said, right? I know, like a couple of years back when I was sparring with a couple of guys at work. There's this one kid. He was about 19 years old, probably around the same build, if not a bit shorter than myself. And dude, it's something about being 19. Like your punch force at that age is just ridiculous. Like
Yeah, you're fucking.
we were just like literally light sparring, trying to hit each other in the face. And I don't know if you remember this, but like after we wrapped up, I had to take him home and I laid down for 3 hours because I'm pretty sure I got a concussion. It was just
Yeah,
like
you told me that.
So
Fuck
it could be
that, dude.
that. It could be that. Maybe it's, I see speed or I show speed, sorry. Is, he's at this sort of like physical prime. He's around, obviously a lot of like internet personalities that are active and athletic. And, maybe he's just got like maybe he's ready to start hitting people at 920, 924.
Well, this is uh actually, hold on. Let me get a link for you real quick, and I'll send it in our chat.
You
Now,
texted to
and
me too. Oh wait, no, you're on your
this will
computer.
further yeah, this will further explain why I kind of started laughing. Like I didn't mean to shit on that idea or anything, but it was just genuinely fucking funny to me.
Well, I know
It
Alex
was
is just such a fucking monster of his own. And I know anytime you kind of have to like when you break down a professional fighter and you try to put them in a theoretical against someone who's shown like a really novice aptitude for hitting things or, being able to take a hit. There's always this wide divide of talent and skill, but I don't know. I didn't see this guy hit. I don't know what he's got other than 920 psi's of fucking punch force.
yeah, that's what's really driving me up a wall. That's a crazy high number, but there's full well footage of him not being able to do what it would take to the guy like what TikTok on a computer is fucking terrible.
No, I don't. I hate that shit, dude. It's TikTok and Instagram. Both need to
Well,
just be. They need to be abolished from desktop. That shouldn't be a thing.
the link I just sent you has
The
it's a,
speed.
a YouTube short of pretty much the results.
Oh, so this is
And the guy,
KSI and IC speed or I show speed.
yeah, speeds
Oh.
in red.
KSI is, I mean, I won't say he's one of the best fighters, by any means. But he's
No.
definitely proficient. He is a proficient fighter, and I would say, I mean, losing to this guy isn't necessarily reflective of being a bad fighter, but yeah, you could see he doesn't have the coordination
He's
yet.
he's losing. It's not the fact that he lost a spar, like because you don't win or lose a spar. Let me
Right.
start there.
You learn.
But I show speed definitely somehow managed to pull off a loss. And then
Yeah.
there's a video of him like afterward crying and shit.
Yeah.
Like
Getting all
bro,
emotional
you just.
about it and shit.
But it's because like the thing about that spar that showed me a lot more than what I need to know is like how Speed was treating it like a fight, and KSI's kind of like you can see KSI not unloading.
Right. He's disciplined. He's again like a spar for a fighter is a very different experience than you could tell what iShowSpeed is thinking it is, where he's like trying to show off and there's a little bit of like well, actually quite a bit of his own like he's like tying up his masculinity in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so a lot of what would happen in that was just like KSI straight embarrassing Speed by not doing stuff. Like all he would do is move, and now Speed's on the ground, and you're like, oh shit, he doesn't know how to punch. He just really wants to hit somebody.
Yeah.
And
I,
that's what if he tries that shit with Alex Pereira, where he's like putting his body weight too much forward and too aggressive,
I see what
it's gonna be one hit and the day's over.
I understand your point suddenly. Holy shit.
Yeah, like imagine he leads forward like that, and he's fighting Alex Pereira, whose biggest weapon is his left hook, his lead
Yeah.
fucking hook.
That's it. That's gravity and 900 and what was it? 8? 900,
907 for Alex
907?
Pereira.
Yep, 907 plus gravity straight to the fucking jaw. Jesus Christ.
But I just thought, what a fucking day! What a day where you have iShowSpeed and Aiden Ross wrestling in a UFC octagon while Alex Pereira is just kind of present, and then iShowSpeed beats Alex Pereira in a boxing machine off. I don't know what you call that.
I will call it, I don't know, I feel like we should make up a name for it. The Punchinator.
Yeah, yeah. That's fucking crazy.
So I wonder
I
now
want to
though,
see.
so obviously, after watching that little KSI spar, if Aisha Speed does get involved in professional fighting in any real way, he's definitely gonna have to like train. He's definitely gonna have to learn to control his emotions, obviously. But do you think, like, from what you've seen from like previous streamers and shit, going from internet personalities to kind of being involved, do you think that this is a path that all of a sudden he's gonna start chasing now that he's had that moment?
Yeah, yeah. I think this is when he starts training. Honestly, if he doesn't, he's absolutely crazy because now his name is in two different sports. He sparred KSI, that didn't go great, and then he went into a UFC cage and outpunched Alex Pereira. This is the time to like strike while the iron's hot, man. If he wants to become a fighter, he's got to book his first amateur fight like this week.
Look, I'm gonna be real. I am putting myself in his shoes for a second, and I'm gonna imagine like what my take, like what I would do in that. All right, so let's be real. I'm imagining 19-year-old Sean, ego the size of fucking Saturn, right? Just
Yeah.
I am the man, and I have now demonstrated that my punch force as a 19-year-old young man is higher than Alex Pereira. Dude, not only am I all of a sudden rebranding to a UFC guy, but like uh I would be fighting my friends for sure. Like I next day would be like, "All right, Aiden, let's set up a little boxing match, you know?"
Yeah, let's set up a boxing match on your stream, Aiden. The biggest streamer in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, just for
Let's do it.
funsies.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's the smartest move from here. Kick Aiden Ross's ass again. Matter of
Honestly,
fact, if you're
I
Speed, fight Kai Cenat now.
I think that
on Kai stream.
there's a huge opportunity, and there may already be one. Do you know? Is there like an informal kind of fighting league inside of Twitch with all these streamers, or is it just something that kind of, like it's okay, they game and then they watch UFC and then fight?
They kind of they have done different things like Aiden or not Aiden. Well, Aiden has done some like he's been in. He got his fucking body beat up by Sean O'Malley. Like he's been trying. He's got kicked in the leg twice by Alex Pereira. Like, and I mean twice, as in he let Alex Pereira kick him one time, and then like ran into him another time and let him kick him again, multiple times
Jesus.
each occasion. Stupid, stupid.
Maybe he
Uh,
just wanted to know if he could live.
so he's involved heavily with it, but he doesn't like they don't run their own organization or anything. But like Isonet, Isonet on his stream has done like his group is called AMP, and uh his crew is called AMP. They've done like AMP ciphers, AMP boxing. They've done AMP everything, like basketball. Like they just branch out and they dibble in all sports and play each other in all sports. And they've done boxing matches. So
I
I
could
mean,
see.
I don't see where this could end. Like they could keep going. They could becoming a bigger and bigger deal to where we get like streamer boxing once a year where it's actually just streamers versus just streamers. And I
Yeah.
think that's better for the sport than having these streamers go fight other boxers. I think
No,
it's
yeah,
smarter this way. It's way
cause
safer.
well, yeah, there's such a I think that's what makes it so shocking for everybody, and I think that's why I mean not to get way into the weeds here, but I think that's why we all love to hate Logan Paul, right? Um
Yeah.
it's just there's this perceived gap between and it's very real, right? So the real gap and the
Yeah.
perceived gap between an amateur fighter and a professional fighter. And whether we want to admit it or not, right? We all want to see, amateur fighters get better over time and progress and to move up within, within the ranks and make it at a professional level. But I
Of
think that
course.
I think right now, like we all know, and again, like I show speed, like us just having this conversation with him and Alex, like we all kind of know that the canyon between being a street fighter and being a UFC fighter is fucking massive. So when one of these, when someone from an amateur area or from like an internet personality space comes out like Paul and actually succeeds and makes it through, it's like fucking unfathomable because there's not like a direct path to get there. It's either you're the king of the amateurs and the bottom of the fucking barrel when it comes to the pros, or you never even touch the pros, right? So I
Yeah.
think I like what you're saying as far as I believe that the future of combat sports and probably sports in general is going to involve these streamers kind of coming together, forming their own amateur leagues, hosting their own events. Um, and just using like because again all these people have their own brands, you know what I'm saying, like they bring their own
Yeah.
audiences. um i
Yeah.
i I believe that we are a couple years away from a Twitch to UFC pipeline.
That would be insane. But I mean, so you're talking about creators in sports. I can go. Oh man, I'm here today. Today's the day. You brought the right topics up, man. I'm here. So you know who Sketch is?
I You brought him up earlier. I can't say I do. I'm gonna look him up real quick though.
I can tell you one sentence you've heard before you look him up.
Tell me.
You ready?
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
Oh, okay. I know sketch.
See, see, Tuesday. Special teams, special plays, special players, bro. So this guy conquered Madden. Like he became this massive Madden streamer, right?
Yeah.
Because of his weird personality, and it is a character. It's already that's been exposed. I don't care who says what, and his character, in his own words, is like Morty and Trump.
The like Morty from Rick and Morty.
Yeah, and Trump isn't Donald Trump. You just combined them together, and now next time you hear it, you won't be able to unhear it. It's like he's using the Morty voice and Donald Trump's pauses and everything. It's awesome. It's fucking awesome. But anyways, one of the things that like so he becomes this massive Madden streamer, right?
Yep.
Because he plays a video game and has such a good personality, he got to he got to announce the draft pick for a player on the Houston Texans
You know, as
in the
cool
NFL fucking draft.
as cool as that is, and I am hyped because I understand the moral here. The moral here is like this is fucking awesome, right? We're finally getting recognition from the creator space. Look,
Yeah.
I love Houston. I'm H Town till I drown, motherfucker. But I would personally feel a little disrespected that they asked me to do the Houston Texans and not like, you know, a team.
That's his team though.
Oh, it is like so he actually likes the team.
Yeah, he wears a Texans jersey in like almost all of his streams.
Okay,
So, and then there's a
that's
video of
fair.
him.
That's fair.
There's a video of him trying to like riz up a girl, you know? And he's wearing a
Yep.
Texans jersey. But she's trying to get him hard, by the way.
Wait for
And it
real?
well, wait, pause. She's not trying to get him hard. She is trying hard to get him.
Well,
And he's just kind of like
those mean the same thing.
he's yeah. Yeah. But he's sitting next to her and she's like, "Where are you from?" And he looks down at his jersey, and he looks back at her and he goes, "Texas." And she goes, "I hear everything's bigger in Texas." And his immediate response was, "I can't wait to disappoint you."
Dude, whoo. I know he got his dick sucked. I know he got his
Oh
dick
man.
sucked. Oh my god.
So,
I hope that man is just getting it for the funnies.
dude, the craziest thing is, so it turns out there was a big expose on the guy, right?
Uh-huh.
When he was broke a couple years ago, he made some choices that most men wouldn't make
Uh-oh. What did
for
he do?
financial support. He has one of those stages, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm,
Where it's a lot of male on male content.
I see. I see.
And that
Uh
got exposed, and he went like, this is this man's personality. This is how well he handled it, right?
yeah.
His next stream, he goes on and like he's acting real awkward already, because
He's
he's
got
got to
to
say
address it.
something.
Yeah, you can't just gloss over that.
So he sits down in front of the camera in front of the microphone, and he goes, "All right, guys, time to address the elephant. I did get a haircut." The dude, the dude immediately starts joking about it, and then like he pulled the Bill Clinton speech, turned it around to a gay version of it, and he was like, "I did not have sexual relations with that man." Just kidding, I did
I did.
probably.
Probably. Allegedly.
He just like he handled it so good, and then he just kept making content like not the his
Well,
usual Madden content. He kept
yeah. The
making
football stuff, the
his
good
normal
shit.
stuff.
The
So
less
and
painful
then like
content.
yeah, sometimes uh he's getting beat in Madden, right? A few streams later, and
Pause.
again his personality just comes out. He's losing. He's down a couple points, and he's like, "Man, maybe I should go back to my old job." Just now that it's been out, he just jokes about it casually. He goes on another podcast with these two dudes, and the two dudes are like, "What's the weirdest thing you've ever done?" He just looks at him and goes, "Huh, let's Google that."
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you guys know about this, but you could have looked me up before the show. I don't know. But honestly, dude, I think that is like that is the way to handle awkward situations. And I think you kind of figure that out naturally as you get older. Um but yeah, I mean, what I've noticed with like celebrities, right? And everybody always kind of being worried about like being canceled and shit like that is I believe personally that you can only be like somebody can only make you feel ashamed if you're ashamed. You know what I'm saying? Like no one can sit there and make you apologize for something that you don't feel fucked up about. You know, that's what I think
Yeah,
that's what he did right there. Was he was like, "Look, man, like yeah, this could be embarrassing, but I needed money, you know, and here I am now. I'm not going to sit here and let people talk shit about, you know, what I had to do to get where I am." And I think that, yeah, dude, that's fucking
this is
awesome.
this is also a good chance to make a quick PSA. Hey, everybody, don't do something if you're gonna be ashamed about it later.
That's
It's gonna
true.
suck when you have to explain yourself.
That's true. Uh,
If you're ashamed, don't do it. What the fuck?
on camera, particularly, that's something I've never really.
Yeah, for
I
money.
for, money's different. Money's different. The thing that I can't really wrap my brain around, and maybe it's just like a sign of the times or whatever, is like why do people film themselves at their most like emotionally vulnerable moments and then post it to the public for free? Like I
Yeah,
here's the deal.
yeah, that shit's wild.
Here's the deal. If you're sobbing in front of a camera, take a moment and think real hard about whether or not people need to know what you're going through and what you're thinking. Because they probably don't.
And then this is another thing. If you cry ugly and you post a video of yourself crying, do not get mad at the comments.
Yeah,
That's what
what the
they're there
fuck?
for.
Yeah, dude. I can't stand that part. I can't stand that part of somebody like. Because here's the deal. You have to understand that when you make anything for the internet, it's anybody on earth in any situation can see that, right? You don't get to decide that everyone should feel bad for you. You know, like if you sitting here
And
ugly sobbing on a camera and it's fucking 2 p.m. on a Tuesday and I'm bored in class, bro, my first reaction is not going to be empathy. I don't have any empathy left. You know, I'm
yeah,
here to clown.
fuck yeah.
You made
And
this public.
here's another thing too. If you're gonna like, if I make a comment that you disagree with, and then you argue back with me, I'm not gonna give a fuck. You're mad now, and I
Yep.
don't give a fuck.
Yep.
And we don't have to agree. That's the cool thing about us all having different brains. If I say something and you disagree, you could say something back, and I could be like, "Huh, you don't feel the same way as me." But when you try to push your fucking like your side of an argument on me, like if me and you are arguing over which fighter's better, and I say my fighter's better, you say your fighter's better, and you try to argue with me
It's like an
to the
objective
point
truth.
that
Yeah.
I'm not, I, we're allowed to have different opinions, and we're allowed to view the world differently.
There's um there's a quote that I'm reminded of like every couple of months. It was like it was the title of some fucking New York Times article. And it like it just says in big bold fonts, we should all know less about each other. And I think that's true. I think like one
Oh,
this absolute compulsion to share every single opinion that we have online and then to defend it, you know, is
yeah.
is just it's so fucking unnecessary, man. Like I don't know. I don't know. I think part of the reason that, you know, ever like the online space is so volatile and like what you were saying a second ago with, you know, disagreeing with somebody becoming this whole thing of like, oh my God, now I have to, if you don't agree with me, you know, it's this objective, absolute truth argument thing. And we're going down this rabbit hole for hours and hours. I think that only happens because now we know what everyone thinks, and everyone who has a thought feels the need to share it. Like, I don't know, man.
And
It was a time if you were dumb, you just didn't you weren't involved in conversations about things that didn't involve you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you never read a book, you couldn't have you weren't in conversations about the presidential election with people who understood it.
yeah. So on that point, I think, and I'm gonna quote a comedian here. His name's Chris Porter. But I don't. I think we should start thinning the herd a little bit, and I don't mean we should start. Hold on, hold
Okay,
on.
okay.
I don't. I, this is still his words, but I don't think we should just start hunting the stupid. I don't think that's how we should handle this situation at all. But I think we could take a couple of warning labels off some shit.
It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad.
The
I
man,
think. By the way,
the man said you want to eat. The man said you want to eat paint. Fucking eat it. Eat it. If you're dumb enough to eat paint, fucking eat it. We don't need you anymore.
I am with that. Also, I want to point out we almost made it exactly to the 30-minute mark before we started talking about genocide. So that's a pretty good record.
Hey, I didn't say kill nobody. I just said take some warning labels off some things.
You said thin to herd.
Look, take flammable off fucking gasoline because if you don't know gasoline's flammable, you can't read a three banger like flammable.
That
You're
is
like flammably.
flammably.
Fuck it, light it on fire.
Oh, no, I agree with that. I think it's a good, like, the principle is, it makes sense. We could kind of like, thin it out a little bit. But then I remember the fact that I'm probably dying in that world too. I didn't know until very, very recently, actually, that you were not supposed to just like leave the pump running like when you're filling up gas in your car. Like you're not supposed to just walk away. Like you're supposed to stand there. I didn't know that. This whole fucking time, like I probably could have just blowed up.
And so this is another thing about that situation. You shouldn't have said that at all because you let people know you have money. I
Well,
cannot walk away from the gas pump when I got that motherfucker.
no,
You,
no, I didn't
you're
mean for
telling
that to
me,
be a
hold on,
flex. I prepay.
hold
I
on. You're
prepay.
telling me you let that little fucking that little metal flap stick down and touch the bars. Oh my fucking
Oh
god,
no,
that is
no,
my
I ain't
worst
got money,
fear.
money. I ain't got money, money. Let me clarify. Let me clarify. I got the Shell app, and I tell them the amount of dollars I could put in there before I walk away. Oh
Okay,
no,
all
no, I
right,
promise.
man.
I'm not the fucking president or something like that. I ain't got.
Thought you're fucking walking up,
Fucking
slapping the
gold
tap.
chains.
Like you slapping the tap on the machine, putting the pump in, letting that little dangly
Ooh,
sit in the slot, and walking away, dude. That is a fucking
that's how you know you've made it.
whoa.
That's how you know you've made
That's
it.
a dream.
That's like
Especially if you're doing that. If you're doing that in the middle of the week, though, and
on
I
like
mean
a
the middle of the week, if
Tuesday.
you get paid on Friday, like if you get paid on Friday and you do that shit on a Tuesday, you don't worry about a fucking thing financially. That lets me know that for sure.
That is, I will say that has to be the mark of a baller. If you see a motherfucker like at a gas pump on a Tuesday walking away from his car, that guy has
Yeah,
money. Like
that's who to rob.
you know, I was about to say that was a little bit of free game for any gold diggers listening, but yeah, also it's free game for people who own a weapon as well. Just so you know.
So, to bitch a little bit, back onto the topic of fighting. UFC 307 eluded us there. Uh, the main event is fucking stupid, and I'm gonna tell you why the main event's fucking stupid.
Wait,
I
who
think
is the
Khalil
main event
Roundtree.
first? Tell me, because I saw a picture, all right, and I might be wrong. It might have been a dream, but I'm pretty sure at some point recently I hallucinated a fight poster with Conor McGregor and Sean O'Malley. Is that real?
Yeah, no, you were dreaming.
Okay, fuck. Never mind.
So
I'm less excited now.
the match is Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. for UFC 307. UFC 306 is O'Malley versus Marab. That's gonna be great. But
Yes.
UFC 307, Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. And Khalil Roundtree Jr. is coming off a failed drug test.
For what? What did he pop for?
I I'm not entirely sure, but we're saying Tom Aspinall doesn't deserve a title shot, and you got this motherfucker who can't pass drug tests for you getting a title shot.
That
What are we
is,
talking about here?
I think
And
it's
he's coming off a loss, I'm pretty sure. He's
it.
coming off like he lost a fight, then got scheduled for a fight, failed a drug test, has a canceled fight. Like I'm pretty sure that's exactly how I'm fact checking myself, but what the fuck is going on here? And
No, I think
even if
it's
he's coming off a victory, who did he beat that makes this okay?
I mean, that's the thing. I think at this point, Dana understands that just about everybody who's watching the UFC knows that he's sitting there playing, pony boy for Bobby. So I don't like.
Is-
I think he's acting a little reckless with it. I think that's what it is. I think that he's just like he's trying to create another outrageous fight situation to distract from not letting Aspinall punch Bobby in the face.
mean, John.
Oh, my B.
Uh, but no, the thing that we're getting into here is like, why are we rewarding a failed drug test?
I think I want more information on UFC drug tests actually. I think that the drug test or that the drug that they fail for is way more important than whether or not they failed. I think if a fighter pops up
What?
for weed, that's fine. I don't care. In fact, I think it puts you at a disadvantage. But I mean, that's a way different thing than like if they popping up for like crystal or fucking steroids or something. I think there should be a distinction.
Yeah, I'm trying to find what substance he got popped for, but a lot of it just says banned substance.
Well, it's general like that. We saw the same thing kind of with the there was that whole situation with the Olympics. I don't remember what the actual sport was. It might have been fighting, might have been boxing. But there was the lady who failed some kind of gender test because she had a lot of testosterone, and then because nobody talked about it and it wasn't public information or anything like that, everybody just kind of assumed, or a bunch of people assumed that she was trans and was born with a penis, and then that ended up not being the
Yeah,
case. So it's like
she's just
I do feel like there's a whole bunch of vagueness when it comes to drug testing and really just
well,
yeah, I
he
guess the way
failed for
what do you feel
DHEA.
EHEA. I've never heard of that. Is there some new shit out there I haven't tried?
DHEA. I'm doing a Google search for it. It's banned under UFC's anti-doping policy. And it says at all times, like you're not allowed to consume it basically while you're under contract. Doesn't matter if you have a fight
EH
or not. And he had to that the hydropiandrosterone. Rosterone. What the fuck? I can't say
Oh,
that shit.
okay.
A hormone that your body
Yeah.
naturally produces in the adrenal gland. It helps produce other hormones, including testosterone and estrogen. Natural DHEA levels peak in early adulthood and then slowly fall as you age.
Okay, so
He wasn't allowed
basically,
to
yeah,
take
it's
it.
a hormone. He was taking a hormone.
He was on. He was basically taking testosterone boosters,
Yeah.
and then had to withdraw from a fight at UFC 303. And he went. It wasn't a title fight. Was not a title fight. And then his last win was against Anthony Smith. Let's look up Anthony Smith's ranking right now.
Let's take a look here.
He's number 12.
Is okay? So he's in the it's light heavyweight. Hey, he's out of Corpus Christi. Represent.
Number 12. So beating the guy at number 12 makes you ready for a title shot, but beating the guy at number 5
Does not.
doesn't.
Yeah.
And beating the guy who is now at number 12 and you beat him in December.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Beat
That's
him
that's
like almost a
nearly.
year ago.
Yeah. Holy shit.
And then you had another fight scheduled against probably a ranked competitor, not a champion. Had to pull out of that fight because you failed a drug test. And then your next scheduled fight is a championship fight. You're ready for a championship fight because you failed a drug test, is what you're telling me? Like, so you're saying you could fail a drug test in the UFC and your next fight could be a championship fight? That's fair?
Yeah. No. It's. I do think that's bullshit.
If I'm running a company, and you fail for anything, I don't care if it's weed, and actively smoke weed. I'm actively smoking weed while I say this.
I can
If
hear it.
it
Yeah.
under your contract says you cannot, if the contract says you cannot smoke weed, and then you do it, that's blatant disrespect to the rules of the company as is.
Well, yeah, and it's the
And
contract you
then,
signed. Yeah.
yeah, you signed up for this. I did not hold a gun to your head and make you sign a UFC contract. You said, "Damn, that's a lot of money to punch somebody in the face. I'll take it."
Yep. All you got to do is not
So
drugs.
yeah, all you got to do is not do drugs and make weight, and you couldn't do that. You shouldn't get a championship fight.
I think though, like, really this whole situation kind of goes back to drive home the point that we were talking about earlier, is there do need to be more, I would say, fan centric, specifically um fan centric combat sport leagues. I think, when as a fan community, right, as a viewership,
Yeah.
we're kind of at the mercy of, basically one guy, right? Dana White. He's the man. He's the dude who determines what happens here. I think when
Yeah.
we're in that position, one, we become the product of like outrage marketing, because at the end of the day, shit that makes us mad is the shit that we're going to engage with, statistically speaking. So Dana knows that by making a bunch of outrageous fight calls and shit like that, there is going to be a certain number of us that are going to watch just to be mad about it, and it's going to generate controversy, and we're going to have the conversation we're having right now. Um, but anyway,
But
the whole point of that is even though it's driving viewership on some level, even though it's driving engagement, and we're talking about it and other people are talking about it, it the whole reason we're talking about it is still, that's a bullshit fight. That doesn't make any fucking
yeah,
sense, right? And I think if we had at least, one or two more competitive leagues with a decent viewership, like what's able to be garnered on Twitch or something like that, we would be way better positioned as a community to say, man, fuck 307. I'm not gonna watch 307. I'm gonna go watch Aiden Ross's, backyard brawl fucking 12, where Conor McGregor's gonna
yeah,
take a chainsaw to someone's face or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do believe that's probably one of the biggest problems with combat sports right now, is there's just one fucking dude in charge of it.
yeah. That is a big fucking issue. But issue I have with the booking decision here is we have Alex Pereira, who's already beaten Jan Blachowicz, already beat Yuri Prohaska twice, and beat Jamal Hill, who was champion right before him, vacated it. So Jamal Hill vacated the title. Alex Pereira and Yuri fought for the title. Alex won. Then he defended it, won, and then fought Yuri again. So he's already beat pretty much the top five. But there's a guy sitting at two that would be a great match with him, Magomed Ankalaev. And there's a guy sitting at number five, which would be a great fight for him, Alexander Rakic. But instead, these guys got booked fights. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we got Ankalaev versus Rakic at UFC 308 in October.
Wait, so you
What are we
have,
talking about?
yeah, why the fuck are they scheduled for, like, the fight after? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and they're number five and number two,
They
and the
should
only
be at
people in the
307.
top five, the only people in the top five that Alex that has not fought. I think it would have made more sense to put Magomed versus Alex Pereira at 307 and Alexander Rakic versus Khalil Roundtree at 308. Make Roundtree versus Rakic, like, if Roundtree wins, he's in the top five, and Roundtree drops down to six, and all the other people scoot down a little bit. But we're not getting anywhere with these fucking rankings when you have fights like the champion, who's sitting above number one, because there is a number one contender, going against the guy sitting at number eight.
It
And
does.
then the same thing with the heavyweight situation. You got John Jones sitting at champion, Tom Aspinall, the number one contender with an interim champion, and you got John Jones fighting number seven Stipe Miocic. Tied at number seven right now, actually.
Is there like a And it really doesn't sound like it. So maybe this is just a dumb fucking question. But like, is there a process? Is there an algorithm? Is there a fucking spreadsheet that they use for a point system or whatever that's determining these fights? Or is it basically just like, hey, there's this little commission, it's run by Dana, and and they decide ultimately who's gonna fight who and when that's gonna happen? Like, do the fighters even
So
have fucking say? Like, I just don't understand
Dana,
because this sucks.
yeah, Dana, Hunter, and Sean ultimately all three have the ultimate decision. That's Dana and the matchmakers.
Yeah.
They they ultimately decide who's fighting who, but you also have the process of like I'm just gonna pick a division that you like, pick a weight class that you like.
Let's do bantamweight. Bantamweight's just yeah.
Okay, so let's say I'm booking for a bantamweight title fight, and I go up to Marlon Vera and I say, "Hey, Marlon Vera, I can get you a match with Peter Yan," and Marlon Vera's like, "No,
He's just
I
like,
don't want to
nah,
fight Peter
fuck that.
Yan."
That's scary.
Then you have to be like, "Well, fuck, like, let's find another guy." So Cheeto's out, so we're gonna go Davidson Figueredo. Figueredo, do you want to fight Peter Yan? He's like, "Yeah," and then Peter Yan's like, "Nuh-uh." If you have to deal with that, I could that sucks. That fucking sucks.
That's true.
You
But isn't there
but
some
there's
level
fighters.
of contractual obligation there too, where it's like
You're
as an organization,
you're
you could say like, no, you have to fight him or you're fucking out.
it's contractual. You have people who like basically you're held to a number of fights within a time limit, I think, is
Right.
how it works. So if you keep rejecting fights, you're not going to be able to fulfill your contract and you're going to get cut and you're not going to get your money that because your contract promises you money for fighting within that time limit. So say
So,
I have a 3 fight contract and it's a 5 year contract. I only have to fight 5 times within, or I only have to fight 3 times in that 5 years. But if I fight 3 times in 1 year, my contract's up, and I get my money every time I fight. So like your contract will be like, okay, you accept to fight 3 times in 5 years, and you get this amount to show, this amount to win. That's how the contracts work. So like, or well, it's not that number. I don't know the
right, right.
magic number there.
But basically the
But if you
core of
keep
it
denying
is
fights,
um well, yeah, so to the point of like if you deny fights, they can boot you because you have a certain amount that you hit within the time frame. But I guess like just to make sure I understand it, so they can't really inside that fight contract determine, this is either the individual by name that you need to fight within these years, or this is the ranking that we need to pitch you against. Like you can't put performance in that contract.
if you're a champion, you have to defend your champion against who the UFC wants you to defend your champion against, or they can say, like, and let's say Sean O'Malley versus Marab. Let's say Sean O'Malley was like, "Fuck that, I'm not doing that fight." They would be like, "Okay, then Marab and Umar are gonna fight for your championship."
So
They could do shit like that.
oh, well, I was gonna
You
ask like,
know,
so
they
who
could do
at
shit
that
like
point's the
that, or
defender?
they could
But
say,
either, there is no defender. It's just whoever
"Yeah,
wins.
yeah, they're fighting for a vacant championship."
Wow. So
And I'm
it's
like,
it's it's kind of like the politics of the sport that determine really like who you're gonna fight at the end of the day. Like you're gonna have a certain number of fights, and you know that you're gonna have to do it within this time frame. But it's really just like you know basically RNG that determines who you're gonna end up
yeah.
battling.
And one of the worst things is like if or one of the better things is they do take into consideration who's like yes and who says no. For instance, Conor McGregor has fought and been given so many opportunities in his career, and everyone's like, "Wow, like they're just doing that because he's Conor." Well, what he's Conor means to them and what he's Conor means to you are different right now.
Yeah.
You're saying he's getting it because his name is Conor McGregor, but his name being that name is literally that name because he's put in fucking work. And the one thing that Dana White likes about him, well, you know the two, money, but the
Yeah,
reason he's been put in a position to make them so much fucking money is he never says no.
that's
He's
true.
never said no for a fight in his life. The thing that interests me about Connor is there's a video where you can see it, and there's a video of Dana White talking about it, where Conor McGregor is asleep. right?
Mm-hmm.
Expecting to fight somebody. I think it was a championship match, is what he was expecting. He's asleep. He wakes up from a rough night. I can tell because it looks like mid fucking day when he's waking up.
Hungover as shit.
Dana, yeah, he's walking out of a fucking room, rubbing his eyes, and the camera's in the like what looks like his kitchen, and he's just kind of looking in the kitchen like, what the fuck? Because there stands Dana White,
He's
and
just
he's
like,
like, man,
okay, what's happening?
yeah. Connor just goes, what's up, man? And he's like, Aldo's out, and he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get to the gym. Let me know when I have a fight. Didn't give a fuck. He did not give a fuck that he's like, oh, I don't have a championship fight. Okay, let me know when I have any fight.
Yeah, he just wants to. Well, and I think that's what makes
He's
him such an entertaining person to watch. Is like he that's like such a defining piece of who he is, and sort of like the Irish spirit is just like, I don't really care who I'm fighting. I just want to fight.
yeah, I think his exact words were, "All right, I'll be in the gym. Let me know who I'm fucking fighting." Something like that. Something crazy. Like I'm
Let
gonna
me
see
know
if
who
I
I'm
can get the
fucking
video and
fighting,
send it
then
to you.
I.
The look on his face, you can tell he's had a night, probably a great one, probably one for the books. You know,
Oh, I can imagine. Who do you think
uh,
parties harder? Sean O'Malley or Conor McGregor?
Honor.
For real?
Honor's the hardiest partier in the UFC, if
Hey,
you ask me.
the hardiest partier, partiest
the,
hardier.
the 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 hardiest parter.
Woo! Isn't well,
Nah, he's
I guess Sean's just like he's more known for being eccentric, like he'll just ball out type shit.
yeah. He's just no like he just has a personality. Connor is a like Sean O'Malley walks in, and wherever Sean O'Malley walks into feels like a party because he's there. But
Yeah,
Conor McGregor is out doing coke off strippers' assholes.
I
There's two different people.
I would not be surprised if like outside of, press conferences and shit like that, like Sean O'Malley was like kind of an introvert. Like he just kind of like hung out by himself at home, played video games.
Dude, it, I don't know. I can't even really picture, and I know it's a thing that like Sean O'Malley games, but I can't picture him with a controller in his hand. You know?
I'm gonna while you're looking up what you're looking up, I'm gonna see if he has expressed his hobbies. I bet he'd be fucking killer at he just seems like somebody who'd be really good at Forza for some reason.
He'd be good at Forza.
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you
What
right
the
now.
fuck?
I have dude, I have never, and I've put some hours into Forza. I have never won a race against someone with face tattoos. It's
Yeah,
something
nah.
about those dudes. They fucking kill Forza. That and what are the fucking what's the football one that comes out every goddamn year?
Madden?
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck I was blanking on that.
Dude, that struck a nerve in me.
I get it. I know you like it.
Dude,
It's fine.
for some reason I genuinely cannot find this video. I don't even know how to look it up now. I looked up Dana White wakes Connor up.
Well,
Dana White in Connor's house.
I found Sean O'Malley's favorite things. I have like a whole list of them. And his favorite hobby is gaming, as it turns out.
I know, and I said I know it's a known thing that he's a gamer, but I just can't picture him doing it. That's the only thing.
Favorite athlete, the Sugar Show. That's hilarious.
Connor saying that if you breathe oxygen and bleed blood, I will fight you. Is one of my favorite quotes, probably.
Dude, Conor McGregor should like once he's kind of at the later years, like the Mike Tyson years, I think we should just kind of start putting him up against like different animals. I want to see him fight a kangaroo. I want to see him wrestle a black bear. I think he would be good for it.
Dude, I don't want to see that. I would I would 100% love to see him on like a comedy show, like a what are they called? Improv comedy shows.
Oh, like a stand up type deal, or like a Kill Tony.
More trying to picture how it would work.
By the way, while I was looking
Like
at Sean O'Malley's favorite things, I found out about a soda called Zevia. Zevia. Fuck is this?
I have no clue.
It's a healthy soda. Favorite all time fight? Any of my fights. That's a good answer. Favorite video game? Call of Duty or Fortnite? What?
I could see it. I could see him ending up in Fortnite.
Dude, is he not a character already? He fucking should be.
Dude,
He's perfect for it.
I cannot find this video. Like I cannot find a video that I've seen a million times on accident. Like when I'm looking for it on purpose. What the fuck is happening right now?
No, that's how the internet works. And you know what's gonna happen is you're
What's
gonna be
even
like sitting on the couch 15 minutes after we wrap, and it's just gonna show up in your For You page.
That's gonna piss me off. I'm what's making me even madder is like as I'm typing it onto YouTube, like it's giving me suggestions that fit what I'm saying, so it knows what I'm looking for, but won't show it to me.
Yeah, it just says like, yeah, we got it, but not right now.
I'm gonna Google it now to see if it just shows up in.
Wait, did you seriously like you were doing all this in the YouTube search bar?
Yes, sir.
Brother, you're as dumb as I am.
Thank you. You're giving me credit now.
What do we? Okay, I'm gonna see if I can find it too. All right. Conor McGregor hungover. That's what I'm gonna search. Dana White.
Like, how do you even look it up? There's a video of Dana White and telling Conor McGregor that a fight is off, basically.
Apparently, me googling Conor McGregor hungover Dana White, which it's too broad of a fucking subject. There's like 9,000 examples of that happening in some way or another. Ah, it's all right. I believe it. I believe it. In my head, I've imagined the video, and the core of it
I'm,
is in my heart.
yeah, I'll one day I'll find it, send you the video of it. I can't even find the video of him talking about it. But
What I keep seeing
yeah,
some
UFC
about
307.
he's what's this about him not fighting this year? Conor McGregor? Sorry.
Yeah, okay, so he had that fight scheduled against Michael Chandler, and then
Mm-hmm.
he pulled out because of a broken toe.
I remember
And
that.
then someone asked in a press conference, they said, like, he said, when is Connor fighting? And he said, we don't know yet. And then he was like, not in 2024.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little late in the year
Oh,
anyway.
but then Connor got really mad and went on social media and said, what do you mean not this year? Let's do it in December, Dana. Please, December. And then
Please.
fucking Michael Chandler responded to it and said, December it is then. But we still like there's no announcement about it, and Dana's already publicly stated not this year. Conor McGregor has one, or I think he has two fights left in the UFC, and then he's already expressed where he's going next, and it's bare knuckle fighting, in
Oh.
which he is a part owner.
Oh. Hang on. I didn't know about these guys. Bare knuckle fighting?
Yes, sir. Bare knuckle fighting championship, where Michael Chandler is, or not Michael Chandler, where Mike Perry is whooping people's ass and making himself more famous than he's ever been.
Holy shit. Oh, so these
BKFC.
came out, or these guys, like, it's pretty new org. 2018?
Yeah. EKFC.
Oh, this is
They got some fucking.
Woo.
They're psychos.
Oh, I'm into this. Rules. Fighters are permitted to wrap and tape the wrist, thumb, and mid-hand. No gauze or tape can be within 1 inch of the knuckles. Fighters will toe the line. There's 2 lines, 3 feet apart. Blah, blah, blah. Wow, okay. It's like no rules to this shit.
Oh yeah, they beat the fuck out of each other, man. It's
Woo!
crazy.
Bantamweights, who's in this? Who do we got? Are these primarily so Keith Richardson, we've got Ryan, oh I can't read this fucking font. Ryan Reber, Justin Ibarola, Chris Garcia,
Chris Garcia,
and
Abdiel Velasquez.
are these former UFC fighters, any of them, or
Uh,
they unique to
I
the
honest,
division?
I honestly don't recognize any of the names in that list, but I know that there is a few UFC guys over there, like Platinum Mike Perry, and some UFC guys have gone over there and just made appearances, like uh, Luke Rockhold fought Mike Perry. That didn't go great.
So I'm on like the main page of the bare knuckle fighting championship page, and you have like all the headers up top that you normally see with like events, the fighters, like the news, all that kind of shit. And right, like the last tab on the right hand side is it just says girls, and then you click on it, and it's the ladies. I just think that's incredible. Oh, ring card tryouts. Hang on, you could just sign up for that. T-shirt size. Huh. Christian, I have an idea.
And I don't like where this started, so I'm not liking where I think it's going.
I am going to break a new glass ceiling for the male gender. I am going to be the first man sexy woman for the bare knuckle fighting championship, whatever their official title is. I want to be the first slutty man
Girls,
on stage announcing the fight.
speaking of the ladies in this company, the champion, Christine Ferreira, looks fucking scary.
Let
Like
me
actually
take a look.
scary.
What's
Like if I saw her in public, I would walk away.
women flyweight? Or what's
Yeah,
her? Let's see what we
yeah,
got
woman
here.
flyweight champion.
Oh yeah, holy shit.
Dreadlocks, neck tattoos,
Yeah.
just the look in her eyes like she's fucking caught 3 bodies this week. That's scary, bro. What are you talking about?
Um.
No.
Okay, so I know you probably know this. I'll give a little background for people who don't. So a couple years back, I lived in Houston off of Scott and Southmore, which for those who are unfamiliar with the geographies and the hoods of Houston, it's Third Ward. That's where people die. And man, like I'm looking at Christine, Christine right now, and she definitely looks like the type of lady where if she's like coming down Scott Street, I'm going the other way, man. I don't want that smoke.
Not at all. Not at all.
She's sitting outside the fucking gas station, ready to just fuck you up. Jesus Christ.
See, for me, it's like fucking like Mary Street, Fort Worth.
Yeah, just where is she from? Christine. Let's see if we can get some info here.
Where they make killers, the
Yeah,
killer
right.
laboratory, the fucking
Area
the murderer
51.
warehouse.
It just says
Fucking weapons are us.
Bro, she's 125. She literally she might actually weigh more than me right now. Oh my god. She's in my weight class. That's scary.
That,
I'm not winning that
that's
fight, dude.
terrifying.
I'm not winning that fight. I'm gonna let you know right now. I have no ego about that. Oh shit.
Hey, I have a question.
Yeah,
So, have you seen the Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram videos of a guy named Vic Blends cutting people's hair just to have conversations with them?
I've not.
Usually doesn't charge them money.
Vic Blends. Let me look him up.
Well, there's a as soon as we're off this pod, I might be watching his shit because his latest one posted a day ago is
Oh.
a 42-minute conversation with Sean O'Malley.
Oh.
And and he usually gets deep. Like he usually talks about deep shit with people. So I'm wondering where that goes.
No, that's a really cool concept.
But
I don't
usually
I,
he does like videos where he'll walk down the street and like find people and be like, "Hey man, let me give you your haircut." And they're like, "Oh, I don't have any money like right now." And he's like, "No, no, no, I'm not charging you money. I just want to have a conversation." So he'll give like strangers haircuts just to talk to them about what like their goals are in life, and he gives them advice and shit.
yeah,
And it's
shout out to the Deep Cut podcast, correct? Is
yeah,
that the show
deep
he
cut
does?
with Vic Blends. Yeah, but I his sports are different. His show I've never actually seen. I just now found out he did this, and he has one with Jake Paul 4 weeks ago. Tom Brady. Damn, I'm kind of plugging him here. That's an
No,
accident.
this is cool.
But
This is cool. This is a
he has other videos where it's not celebrities, and those are the ones that I discovered him for. And I just saw him and Sean O'Malley pop up, and I was like, damn, I'm definitely watching that later.
no, this is a cool thing to be put on. I like this idea. I assume you probably already like Hot Ones, right? The YouTube show.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of I like that idea because I mean obviously Hot Ones has its own thing going on, but I think one thing that's really unique about what he's doing here is that there's definitely like I don't know, man, men got a certain relationship with their barber, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
for us it's like that's kind of like look, we're not good at going to therapy. We're not good at, the kinds of shit you're supposed to do, right, to take care of yourself. But yeah, I mean, some of the most insightful conversations I've had have been just like, mid fade and not the liquor
yeah.
kind.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Like, the man, sad day. I had a barber that I worked with, basically.
Hmm.
Uh, and he left the company, and like his last week, he's like, "Oh man, I'll give you a haircut since I'm leaving," you know. And I was like, "No, we stay late, and you give me haircuts. I'm not making you stay late
Uh,
on your last week."
yeah, dude, like go home, man, get some rest.
But I've got to find a new barber now. Sad day in the world.
Is he like he just moving somewhere else, or is he just like you gonna follow him to his new shop?
Well, so he was cutting me out of work, like at my job.
Yeah.
So uh, he's not going to a barber shop. He's just going to another machine shop, and he's gonna be machining elsewhere in a different town. And he already lives in a different town, and I live in a different town than where I work. But he lives the opposite direction. So like I
So
just
it's like
lost a
this
barber.
whole yeah. God damn, man.
I've got to I've got to actually find a real barber and go into a real shop and talk to real people.
Oh,
I
dude, that's
I'd
the
already made
worst.
like me and him were already friends before he cut my hair.
Yeah. Well, and it's
Now
such a sensitive
I don't want to
relationship.
talk to a stranger.
Yeah, it's like dating. Now all of a sudden you've got to like hope to God that the next person you run into with the skill to cut your hair is also just cool.
Yeah, because like and it already sucks because if I go get a fade with white people hair, there's
Yeah,
very few people who can actually do that.
it is a thing,
Other people will fuck it up.
and I can confirm this. I haven't had a haircut in a very long time, but yeah, no, it's like it's a weird thing to complain about, but it's not a lot of people who know how to give a white person a fade correctly.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know
an
why.
issue.
Like
It's an issue.
I get it's two different hair types, so it's two different things entirely. But is it really?
Ah, I don't know. I never bothered learning how to cut hair. I do know that I no longer go to white people to do it anymore. It's I can't like I I don't know. Maybe this is racist. We'll find out. We'll see if I get in trouble over this. But here's the deal: white people, especially in the part of the world where I am, it's Central Texas, right? Cracker on cracker on cracker. There's a certain look that that people are comfortable with, whether or not they realize it, right? And unfortunately, it no matter what white person is cutting your hair in Texas, you're gonna end up with some kind of mullet. I don't know why. Like it just always fucking happens. Um, and as a result, like, look, it's I empathize with you, man. I hate that you're gonna. I hate that for you. I hate that you now have to find a competent barber out in fucking Indiana of all places.
And the hardest part is, this is definitely gonna sound racist, but Mexican people do the best fades on this type of hair.
No, it's
Like
true. It's
they do.
true. Indisputed.
Uh, I no longer live in Little Mexico, so I can't just throw a rock and hit a barber shop with the actual Mexican working in there. And that was racist too. What I mean by an actual Mexican is a dude whose name I cannot pronounce.
Yeah. No, I I don't know if it's
If it's
racist.
not Isidro cutting my hair, I don't fucking want it.
Right. No, I agree. So the last time I had a haircut, and actually this is the same person I'm gonna go back to. It was this lady, probably in her mid 50s. No English, like no fucking English at all. It the only part of that experience that like I wasn't able to get was the conversation. Obviously, my Spanish sucks. Um, but God, it's you're speaking the truth, man. The less English someone knows, the closer they are to the fucking equator, the southern hemisphere, the better they can do a white person fade, statistically.
Yeah, and I don't know what the fuck. Like, I guess the hair's just similar enough, but like ours is thinner, so it's like easier for them too. So it's weird, man. It's just a weird scenario.
Shout out
I
to
get the best.
Hispanic barbers. God
Rare.
bless you.
Thank y'all.
You keep this shit moving for us. Um, okay. Are there any other fight things? I keep forgetting we're doing a fight podcast. Uh, are there any other fight rants that we need to get into before we call it a wrap?
uh, when will this one be uploaded?
Honestly, I am feeling very optimistic with the mic quality. The tracking looks good. I could probably have this one up in like an hour, literally.
Oh, well then tonight Israel Adesanya has to beat Dricus Duplessis. Tied to Tuivasa is gonna get beat up by Rosenstruck. Junior Tough is walking out with a win over Walter Walker, and Jack Jenkins is beating up Herbert Burns in the early prelims. Song King is gonna beat Rick Glenn, and that's about it.
Hmm. I I, damn, you went down the line fast. I really only have one that I'm invested in, and it's just because I really want to see Duplessis get the shit kicked out of him. I just something about him. I don't know. I We did get the chance to talk about this last week. That pod didn't get uploaded due to some audio issues. Um, but just yeah, just to recap, that was the Duplessis is the gentleman from South Africa, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Um, said some incredibly antagonistic shit about Africans. So I am excited to see him get hit in the face quite a few times tonight. Um, yeah, God, I think it's gonna
Yeah.
be a good one.
I think the situation that this fight, that like if I'm in a perfect world where like if this is a video game and I'm controlling the scenario and I get to pick where this goes, how I would have this play out in my dream world is Izzy beats Dricus, becomes a uh three-time middleweight champion, and then gets to defend it against Sean Strickland because that is who they're fighting. Like no matter who wins this fight, they're fighting Sean Strickland. And I think if Izzy wins, beats Dricus, and then beats Sean Strickland, that's the best thing possible for the middleweight division. I think the most boring thing for the middleweight division is to have DDP beat up Izzy. And this is the thing: if Dricus rushes Izzy and is able to find the distance between Izzy's jab and like his own range, if he can stay right there to where Izzy has to do a lot of moving to get him out of range, Dricus will win. And that's a scary thought. But if Izzy's able to keep Dricus at range, then Izzy's gonna take back his belt. So that's how, like, if you're watching it and you're wondering who's gonna win, if Dricus is inside of Izzy's jab and able to make contact with him, Dricus is probably gonna win. If Izzy's able to keep him at the end of his jab, we're gonna see Izzy kick his fucking head off. And something I didn't take into consideration last time we talked about this, Izzy has notoriously fought a lot. Like he fought, I think, like 6 times in a year or some stupid
Yeah,
fucking math.
he does have a
Where
crazy amount under his belt.
where as a champion he fought a lot rapidly, right? And apparently he was fighting with a lot of hidden injuries. And then he comes out of that and still fights at a crazy pace and fights the best people. Like he was just consistently battling. Now he's coming off the longest layoff in his career where he's just been training and working out and he is in a different physical shape. Probably has a few new tricks up his sleeves. And Dricus has just recently fought in 2024, I think. Izzy has not fought once this year. And
When
yeah,
was Izzy's last serious fight? Do you know? Like
I mean
where the chance of injury would have been like persistent.
his well, honestly, his last fight where we thought bad shit was gonna happen was in April of 2023 when he fought Alex Pereira for the second time. But then he went out there and fucking knocked him out in the second round. And then he goes out in a fight where everyone's like, "Oh, this is just an easy win for Izzy,"
Hmm.
and he loses a long 5 round fight where he was just getting the shit beat out of him. I think 4 rounds to 1 is what I'll call that one.
Yeah.
And Sean Strickland walked him down, and it was because Sean Strickland was able to find that medium range. And so the history of the middleweight champion here, Izzy was champion, knocking people like beating people the fuck up. Alex Pereira shows up, boogeyman from Izzy's past,
Yeah.
beats Izzy, and then uh, after that, Izzy comes back, beats Alex, wins the champion back, and it was like a crazy moment. And then
Right.
he fights Sean Strickland, and everyone's like, "Oh, easy win." He loses 5 rounds. Then Dricus beats Sean Strickland, and now it's Izzy versus Dricus
Holy
for the belt again. So
shit.
like we're coming full circle here for a crazy ass fucking fight.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna throw
And
out in that case, I have a wild card prediction that I'll end on whenever you want me to announce that.
okay, so go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So here's my wild card. I so taking your analysis into consideration, right? Um,
Yeah.
I think if Izzy, so the craziest scenario here is that Alex actually closes the distance with Izzy tonight, right? It becomes a grappling thing, but Izzy ends
I
up
mean
because he,
Dricus.
sorry, Dricus. We're running with too many names right now. All right, so Dupussy, and then we have
Yep.
okay, so Dupussy and Izzy, right? Okay, so we get range, right? It looks like Dupussy's gonna have the edge, except Izzy has now had all this fucking time to recover and prepare and train, and somehow he wins by submission, going up against Sean Strickland, who notoriously just has this fucking like. I mean, again, he's a hard hitter, dude. Do you think, actually, in your opinion, because this is gonna play into my analysis here, who's the better striker, Izzy or Strickland?
He, now here's the problem with that. They're different. Like they're both strikers, yes, and so is Dricus. But
Mm-hmm.
all three of the guys we're talking about in this fight, and either way, so no matter what happens here,
Yeah.
if Izzy wins or Duplessis wins, they have to fight Sean Strickland. No matter which way this goes, if Izzy wins or Dricus Duplessis fights Sean Strickland, it will be the second time they fought Sean Strickland.
Yeah.
My thing here is, since Izzy lost to Sean Strickland, I think what happened there is Sean Strickland's boxing and like his ability to just take hits and keep pushing is what makes him good.
Yeah.
Where I think is a better technical striker. Like he has more fancy ways of hitting you and has like more strategy in the way he hits you. Whereas Sean Strickland's like, I'm just gonna fucking take your head off. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter how.
Well, Strickland just he's there's something about his like he's very ominous. I don't know how else to put it. Like he kind of has like this psychological effect on his opponents.
Yeah, but hold on, give me 10 seconds. I just realized that I made a oopsie in real life. I'll be right back.
Oh, no worries.
Count me back in. My bad, man.
All right, recording resumed. But okay. Anyway, I forgot. Um, okay,
You said
okay.
that you said that Sean Strickland has like a psychological effect on his
Yes.
opponents. But what I was about to counter with is so does Izzy. Izzy has this weird thing, like this. He fought. I can't remember who he was fighting. He got in this really serious like striking match where he was getting the fuck beat out of him, and it was I think it was 2-2, or maybe 1-1 going into the third or 2-2 going into the fifth. I don't know if it was a championship fight or a regular fight. Either way, he was a bloody fucking mess. His lip looked like it was about to come off of his face. It was bleeding so bad. I thought it was ripped. I thought his lip was fucking ripped off his face. And he looks at his opponent, and instead of going back to his corner, I think he had just sat up from his corner,
Mm-hmm.
but he walked toward the middle of the ring and just stared at this guy. Blood all on his face, fucked up, swelling and shit, you know?
Yeah.
And he looked at him and he said, "You're not going to win. I don't care. I'm prepared to die."
Came in, fucking Vegeta mode.
Beat the shit out that motherfucker after that. He
God,
just
that would.
looked him right into his eyes and said, "You're not gonna win this. I don't care. I'm prepared to die." And beat the fuck out of him.
Okay,
What a man, bro.
I'm gonna.
That's why I think that's why I want him to win so bad. His drive is insane. Him fighting so consistently makes him so entertaining. His skill level is crazy. You ask who a better striker is. I think technically if it's a boxing match, Sean Strickland wins 20 times out of 20 times. If it's a kickboxing match, Israel Adesanya wins 20 times out of 20 times. Unfortunately, these are two men who are in a mixed martial arts company and have to deal with both at the same time, have to deal with grappling, which is a wild card for any of these guys to do. So it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a crazy fight. You got a guy who's 24-3 versus a guy who's 21-2.
No,
This is a crazy fight.
I mean that's look. It's gonna be such a buzzkill if Duplessis wins tonight, but uh, I want to think on my wild card prediction for the potential of Izzy and Strickland some more, just in case we get disappointed tonight and it doesn't happen. Um, but my wild card prediction is Izzy is he's fucking ready. He has been thinking about Duplessis grappling since the fight was even first conceived, and just because of the type of showman he is, I think that there's a distinct wild card possibility that Izzy wins by submission just to beat that guy in his own game.
Well, Duplessis is a striker.
Bro, I feel retarded right now.
They're all three strikers. I said that I said that a minute ago. But what I meant earlier when I was saying Drick is closing the distance, I mean Izzy's the taller guy. Duplessis has to hit him. In order to do that, he has to be within a range. And Izzy's best strikes are at a medium range where he can
So,
get his foot where he can get his foot to your head. That's the range he wants to be at. He doesn't
okay.
want to be where you can hit him in the face. He wants you to be just right outside of his distance so he can connect those crazy kicks and fucking those like crazy spinning moves he's got and those stepping in like he steps in so weird, he moves so weird. There's a million things he can do
Do
when
you
you're at middle
guess
range.
in that case? So I guess that's what I was thinking because again, Duplessis is not really someone I know all that well or really at all. Um, But so when I was thinking range, typically when we're talking about getting inside, that's usually a grappling issue. Who's the better grappler in your opinion?
Dude, neither one of these guys should grapple anybody.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Hold
Okay.
on.
Well, now I have to
Let's
adjust my
hold on.
wild card prediction. Hang on.
Actually,
No, no.
actually, hold on. You make me sound dumb. You actually, so he has in his professional win or in his professional career, 21-2,
Mm-hmm.
9-1 knockouts, 10-1 submissions.
Duplessis.
So yeah, so he's had 19 in his career. 9 of them were knockouts, and 10 of them were submissions.
What's
But
um what's
where I
Izzy's
was
submission?
with him, Riker,
Hold on, I need to look at some
huh?
Izzy. I'm gonna look at Izzy stats real quick. Keep talking.
The reason I said that he's not a grappler is he's only been in like one submission finish in the UFC. All of them were in his fights that I was not watching. I can't call, and Izzy's never submitted anybody, ever.
Ooh.
Never been submitted. Never submitted anybody.
Nope. Then my wild card prediction is not changing. Actually, I think that would be
Yeah, it would still be fucking awesome.
the most interesting outcome. And then I guess next week I'm gonna take the next 7 days to meditate on things I don't know. And next week I want to have something kind of wild for a Strickland Izzy match. Knock on wood, hopefully it turns out that way. But for any Duplessis fans who've been listening to us trash him for the last however long, good luck tonight.
Fuck him.
Fuck him. Fuck Duplessis.
I've got to. I don't have a like. So there's a crazy stat he holds now, and it makes me want to see him get fucking butchered for it too. During Drickus and Sean Strickland's shit talking fest, he brought up the fact that Sean Strickland's dad molested him
Oh, so this guy's just
and used it as
disrespectful.
trash talk.
Yeah, he's really
He
just
used
out
he
of
used
pocket.
that as he used that as trash talk. And Sean Strickland went on Theo Von's podcast, and it got brought up, and that made Sean Strickland cry because he's like, "What kind of piece of shit would talk like that, right?"
Yeah.
So, and then during this press conference, I don't know what did it, but Izzy cried. So he's
What the
made the past
fuck?
two people he's fighting cry. Like this, like for some reason,
He's kind
that
of a
makes me want
villain.
to see this man get fucking brutalized. But he said something about like because Izzy said, when I win this champion, I'm going to Africa. Then
Yeah.
after Africa, I'm going to New Zealand. Then after New Zealand, I'm going to. And he started naming off all the places he's going to go as champion. And Dricka said, "Yeah, are you going to take the servants with you?" And
Oh.
he's like, "Dude, you have." He's like, "Dude, you have no idea what the fuck I've been through." He was like, "Me and my dad were up at 4 a.m. washing hotels so that my mom could go to school to be a nurse. Don't ever fucking talk about my story." And
Yeah.
Dricka said, "I don't give a fuck about your story." And then he's like, "Don't talk about my story if you don't know about my story." And then started getting emotional. So like, it wasn't really what Dricka said. It's the
Well,
context of
it's
what Izzy's
yeah.
been through in his life that it struck a nerve deep.
Well,
But it still stands that he made two people. He made his last two opponents cry, and he took Sean Strickland to decision. So if it took Sean Strickland a decision to beat Drickus, and it took Sean Strickland a decision, or actually, there's a conversation to be had about Sean Strickland actually winning the Duplessis fight. But if it took Drickus decision victory to get that win, I do not see this going to decision. I think Izzy is a much more pissed off version of Izzy, a much healthier version of Izzy, and a much more prepared version of Izzy than anyone has ever seen. And he's about to fucking hurt this man.
no, this is the anime music video moment for Izzy, I think. Like there's again, Duplessis. To what you were saying, I really think the reason I want to see him get beat up so bad is because he's a fucking bully. Like I think that's what it is. There's a difference between shit talk and actually just like
Yeah,
being disrespectful.
there's a
Yeah.
difference between I'm going into this fight, I'm gonna butcher this guy's fucking face, I'm gonna
Yeah, I'm gonna
hit him,
fuck
I'm
him
gonna
up.
knock him
Yeah.
down, I'm gonna do.
He's ugly.
There's a
Yeah.
difference between that and your dad touched you.
Yeah, that's just
What the
it.
fuck? You're bringing somebody's family into it and some traumatizing shit that he's been through into it. That you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, that's
You're
just
a piece of fucking shit. I
yeah.
get like a lot of people get mad like cuz there's this big debate now that nothing should be off limits when you're talking shit when you're going into a fight because it's the ultimate fighting champion, not the ultimate feeling champion.
Ha.
Har har har. Yeah, but it's not fucking entertaining at that point. You're actually trying to fucking like you're going way too deep.
Well, and it's
I
also
think even
like,
some of the
dude,
shit that
these are humans. Like these are literal fucking people. You know, we tend to get so
yeah,
disconnected
if
from that because we're watching them beat the fuck out of each other for a living. But like,
if that yeah,
yeah,
put yourself in their shoes. If that happened to you
yeah,
and you're talking shit with somebody, like you're in a roast battle basically with
yeah,
somebody, and you're like, damn, dude, your hairline's pushed back, and they're like, your dad touched you.
yeah. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, this is no longer a
That's not
roast
the same
battle.
thing.
Yeah,
You're not you're not talking shit anymore. You're just fucking you're
yeah.
bringing up traumatic events to hurt somebody. That's stupid. I
Us.
hope what happens is no glove touch. Obviously, they're not going to touch gloves in the middle of the octagon. They both fucking hate each other. Uh, I mean, for the same reason too.
Yeah.
You're both calling each other fake Africans. Is what I get. Is what I get out of this. Uh, as he said, he's the first real African champion. When there was three Nigerian-born African champions at the same time. So him saying that is fucking nuts, and he's the first white one too, which makes it even fucking crazier
It's
because
he wants to be fucking
it.
Connor so bad. He just does not have the Riz.
I don't. I don't. I don't think that's it. I really don't. I just think he's. He, oh, you're right. He's like a bully with money, though.
Yeah.
He just
He's
and
the
he's good at fighting. That's the suckiest part.
oh yeah. I mean that's same with same with Paul, right? It's some people really do their role in the world, the fighting shit, whatever. The scenario
Yeah,
is to be the bad guy. And for that, he's full credit. He's a great bad guy, but
yeah.
um
He's making news and shit for his shit talk.
but with that in mind, that's the best part of watching this whole scenario is watching the bully, the bad guy, get his shit absolutely fucking ruined. So yeah, I don't necessarily feel so bad for wanting that outcome.
No, Izzy, like I said earlier in my quick rundown, Izzy needs to win this fucking fight tonight.
I
It's a
think he
big
will.
deal. Like I think people are trying to like overlook it as not that big of a deal. This is a huge fucking fight for him. And if he wins, it's a huge fucking fight for his career because then he gets to take back one of his losses. He gets to go back and fight Sean Strickland, and in this fight, I fully believe he would win.
God.
If he
Well,
really was dealing with all those injuries, then he's gonna win this fight.
I'm fucking ready. Well, good luck. And again, it's going to be a great fight tonight, no matter what happens. But all the way in on Izzy. I hope he absolutely beats the fuck out of Duplessis. That's the sentiment here. Yeah, I don't have anything else. I don't have anything else. We will be we'll be doing something a little bit later on. I won't announce it here, but I will keep an eye out.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks for listening. We'll get this up and ready and talk to you next week.
Later.